Hey everybody, this is Chris with Simple Tech coming at you with this week's Simple Tech tip. Happy Tuesday. This week we're going to be talking a little bit about split screen. So if you've never really used it, a split screen on Mac is very, very, very helpful. I know I like to use it, especially when I'm copying and pasting things between documents back and forth. And also if you're using the multiple desktop feature, it's nice to be able to drag windows and merge them with other windows so they're side by side, so you can kind of look at them simultaneously. Great for people that maybe are working with one monitor, but they need to have kind of like multiple desktops or be able to see more while they're working. But it's a quick, easy thing to kind of show you. So if you're ready, let's go ahead and just get started. Okay, so let's talk about split view. Pretty easy to set up, to be quite honest, and to do. So I just opened up two windows and I got a bunch of picture files and stuff over here so you can kind of see how it goes. There's two ways to do it. If you're in Windows view, kind of like this, where you have multiple windows, easiest thing to do is just kind of hover over it, over the green little button in the top left-hand corner, and you can see tile window left or tile window right. So if I were to go ahead and choose tile window to the right, what it's going to do is it moves that window I was on over to the right side. Oh my gosh, I got really small down over here. But now it's on the left side. It's kind of like, okay, well, what do you want to put on the other side? And it shows you all of the other open windows that you have. So that way then all you have to do is just simply click on it, and now it pulls it side by side. And what's kind of cool about this is it helps, oftentimes when I'm doing it, I might be in a document in like a web browser. So I'm copying and pasting information over, and it's just easier that way, or multiple documents even. I don't usually use pictures in a web browser, but these are just easy to show. And then you got this little line, this little bar in the middle, so you can adjust the size, and that's the max to the left direction, and then the max to the right direction. So you can see when in terms of the sizing, you do have a limit to what it kind of lets you do. Now, when you're in this view, you're technically in full screen. So in full screen, bring your mouse up to the top of the screen and you can see my Chrome window on the right side of my screen is what is currently active. And I know that by clicking Chrome over here, or seeing Chrome over here. Now if I click on the picture, you can see now it's preview. And so you're still going to have one of those windows as your active window. And using this as an example, I could either hit the green button and it'll minimize it and it's going to make Chrome full screen, or I can simply hit the escape key on my keyboard. Oh, I lied. I can't hit the escape key on my keyboard, and why I don't know, because maybe it's a Ventura change. Or maybe it's just full screen. Let's find something else together. Okay, full screen, one item. Okay, so it doesn't work in split view, but it does in full screen with one item. Note to self. So what I just did there was, typically when I'm in full screen and I want to get out of full screen, I just simply hit the escape key on my keyboard and it gets me out of full screen. I made the assumption that it would work the same in split view, and I was wrong. So what we would do is simply hit this, and we're out of full screen split view with the Chrome window, but the picture goes to full screen. It takes up the rest of the space that we were in before. And now I should be able to hit escape, and there we go, we're back. So that's one way to do split view, is just basically just to hover and then select, do you want it on the left or the right? Now in some cases, you might be, I'm gonna go ahead and open one of these to full screen. You might be in full screen already, and you're like, okay, I wanna compare apples to Windows. I was gonna say apples to oranges, but it just wouldn't have been so funny. Either was my joke, but anyways. So now you can see I have the Windows website, and then I have Apple's website. If I click and hold and I drag up to the top, it shows me my desktops, right? So you can see as I hover over that iPhone Apple website over the Windows one, I'll bring it back down, I get this little gray plus on the left. I could also move it and I can put it on the right. So this is telling me that if I let go, it's gonna go where that gray plus is at. So I let go, and so now I have them side by side. So that's another way if you are working in, or if you want something split view, but your screen is already in full screen like that, you can simply just grab it, drag it up, and then drop it in. Now, sometimes what I like to do also when I'm working in this, and I'll just use it as an example, because like most people, when they're using Chrome or Safari, they're using tabs, right? So instead of jumping back and forth to tabs, if you click and hold and drag that off, hover, dial to the right. Oh, it's not gonna let me do it in this screen. Well, let's get it out of here. Let's drag it up to the top now. And let's drop it up there. But dragging the tab off allows you to pull it off, because in a lot of cases you might be working in Chrome or Safari and you're like, okay, I need to open another website, I want to compare them side by side, and honestly jumping back and forth is kind of a pain in the butt, right? So pull it off, drag it up to the top of the screen. Oh, let me let go of it first. Drag it up to the top of the screen and then drop it on, and now you can have them side by side. So you don't have to necessarily jump out of there. Now, one more thing I want to do. Oops, I wanted to leave it in split screen. So let's say you're in split screen and you're like, okay, I'm done with this one and I want to open a different one. So if you hover and you go over that green little dot there, come on, you can see that it says replace tiled window. So I could actually choose that now. And now it's going to say, hey, what do you want to replace it with? So then I just choose what window I actually want to replace it with. So you don't have to necessarily close that window or change it, and you can see the window that I had replaced had dropped into back to my main desktop screen. So just a lot of ways to kind of use split view that is just really helpful, especially when you're trying to multitask, copying and pasting, comparing websites, comparing documents side by side. You can think of a lot of business use cases in which this might be advantageous. Especially website copying and pasting stuff. That's what I tend to find I use it for. Sometimes even creating maybe a document and I'm dragging pictures off of, a web page into my document or into an email. Using those split views just make it really, really easy to kind of do that. So think about it from a business perspective of how often you're jumping back and forth, or you're trying to size up the windows and place them side by side. This might be a replacement for that to help you do that a little bit easier. So I hope you like this video, kind of just going a quick overview of split view and split screen on the Mac. Easiest to do it by just hovering over this little green button up at the top. Now, if you're already in full screen, as we did one time before, you just simply find what you're looking for, drag it up, and then you can just drop it next to it, and it kind of does the split screen for you. So I hope you like this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, and we will see you again next week with another simple tech tip. Thanks.